G'day. I suppose we've all heard about that by now. Now, that shouldn't have happened, but it did. Now, I don't know the bloke, but Blind Freddy could see that wasn't going to fit. Now, I think Blind Freddy might have been driving, but like I said, I don't know the bloke, so I'm not going to throw him under the bus. I don't know the full story. Here's what I do know, and a couple of things that I've heard. Firstly, I believe the Monash Freeway was either closed or had significant traffic build-ups because of a earlier truck and motorbike accident. Now, I don't know whether he was trying to avoid that or whether he was directed that way or what the story goes. But what I do know is that when you get sent off your route, you are immediately very cautious. Now, whether that's in Melbourne or Brisbane or Sydney or whatever other part of the country you might be operating in, as soon as you get sent off the road that you know, the way that you know to get somewhere, it's frightening because you're in a large vehicle that can't exactly do a U-turn if you turn down the wrong street. You've got to be cautious. Now, the smart thing to do, if you can, is to pull up immediately you get diverted off if you don't have anyone to follow and you don't know where you're supposed to be going, to actually assess your options because, as we all know, Melbourne, and Brisbane for that matter, and even in some places Sydney, are prone to low bridges. They can come out of nowhere. In fact, I've got a mate who got himself caught up in Melbourne. He came across a sign saying low bridge ahead. He pulled up. He walked into a service station who couldn't give him any ideas of where he should be going. And he was lucky enough to happen upon a toll rigid who the bloke was good enough to see he was in need of a bit of assistance and said to him, look mate, you're going to be in a world of trouble if you keep on going down there. Follow me and I'll get you out of here. Good on that bloke. But this fella on a stock crate, you've got the initial problem of you're off route, you're got to be careful what you're doing, you don't know what's up ahead, you should be being extremely cautious. And then you've got the fact it was a stock crate, which is 4.6 metres, not 4.3. So he's got to be even more careful. And let's not go into the whole issue of whether or not he should or shouldn't have been on that road, whether it was B-double permitted, whether he was permitted to be there because of his extra height. Now, clearly he wasn't because the bridge was 4 metres. And like I said, Blind Freddy can see the sign that says 4 metres. Anyone with any kind of observation skills can see that is not going to work. And it's not like he just bumped into it. I mean, he got that whole double through. He only got caught on the very back of the back trailer. Now, I don't know what happened to those cows up on the top deck, but he took 600 mil out of their headspace. Now, that doesn't sound very healthy to me. Just how do you get yourself in that predicament? Now, the other things I've heard, and again, I don't know this for fact, but what I have heard, and if it's true, it's even more damning, is that apparently this bloke is coming off a record of having rolled 2 stock crates in the last 12 months. Now, again, I'm not saying that's what's happened. I'm just saying it's what I've heard. And if that's true, you've got to look at the line out of Copy There Southbound.
Now, if that's the second time that's happened, chances are you'll be finding another job.
One might actually ask whether it's partially the company's fault, because if this bloke has had that record, if he has already rolled 2 stock crates in the last 12 months, and then this happens, drives under a low bridge and takes over half a metre off the top of the truck, is the company partially to blame for letting him continue in a career which is clearly not suited to him? And as one of my first employers said to me when I started driving, he said, there is one reason trucks roll over, and that is speed. It doesn't mean you're going too fast, it means you're going too fast for the corner, too fast for the conditions, too fast for the circumstances that you're in. And he said to me, you've been warned. Now, I was in Victoria at the time, and he said, you roll one of my trucks, you better be ringing me from Perth Airport, and you better be getting on a plane going overseas because I'll be there before you land. Now, that was enough for me to wonder, I wonder if he's onto something here. Now, the thing is, when that happens, you learn from it. So to roll 2 in a year, if that's what's happened, and if that is the case, that's pretty much showing that you're not learning from your mistakes. And then to hit a bridge, which not only says 4 metres quite clearly on it, driving a stock crate, which you've got to know is 4.6 metres high, at such a speed that you can get the entire truck and 2 trailers through the bridge and only get caught up in the very back of the B trailer, that shows a level of negligence that I just can't explain. Been missing in action for a little while now. Had a couple of health issues, which I'll do another video on, so I'll tell you all about that, heart related. But for the moment, let's talk about that.